Hello, everybody. Janet Urban here, founder of Friends in Film. Welcome to our podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give you insights that you will not learn anywhere, not in film school, not online, not from anybody. Even people on film sets will not know what I'm teaching you because we have studied how to go very fast into the film industry and create a career out of it. And that is what this podcast is about. And that is what the A-List program is about, which is our main flagship program that all these people all over the world are doing to work in the film industry. So enjoy today's podcast, and thank you so much for listening. One of the most important things that I do in the craft certification program is working with people to shift their awareness of what they are there to do in the film industry and the fastest way to get there and get those results. What holds us back that's invisible to us, that we cannot see, is our own thinking, our viewpoints of the way that it is in the film industry and how hard it seemingly is what holds us back. And it's our own thinking about our own self and our own abilities that holds us back. We hold ourselves back from our career in the film industry. One of the reasons why most professionals that work in 9 to 5 never actually make the transition into the film industry is because they think that they can't do it. They think that it will be too hard. They think that they've got to juggle too much. And they just don't see how they're going to be able to take the life that they have today and now switch it over to the film industry. So if you feel like that, I want you to watch this interaction that I had with one of my students inside my craft certification program. And she was able to see that she was actually blocking herself from a career in the film industry. She's trying to figure it all out ahead of time before she gets on these film sets, instead of creating the thinking that just makes her go get it done, that makes her go fast, that attracts all these people to her and has them think about her as an actor and a writer, where she's out there with joy and knowing that she is going to be successful. So if you are wanting to work in this business, but you cannot figure out how this is ever going to work out in 9 to 5, this episode is for you.
Hello.
Hello. What question do you have?
So I got into a BA role, and I also got into Canadian Film Commission, a volunteer role. But I feel like there might be a little bit of a lull in between, because I've kind of decided that I need to prioritize like my day job for now. Do you think that's the right decision, or?
Well, where's the decision coming from?
Because a lot of these casting calls and stuff like that, you or rather the program encourages us to do like backstage work and stuff like that, or even some of the shoots are during weekdays. And I feel like asking for a lot of days off from my work will definitely lead to, them not finding me a good fit for the job anymore, because I can't give them regular time.
Yeah.
And I sort of need the stability for now. So I feel like my journey might be a little bit slower, where I'm limited to like weekends. Or if something really great comes up, then I can take some time off. But
all right. So let's just look at your thinking, first of all. Let's do a little self-coaching just to look at that, because from that comes your whole experience of it, of what you're doing out there. So I think that my journey might be a little bit slower, is the thought. So that feels like it's very true. But the fact is, when we pull the facts out of the situation, this is how we do self-coaching. I think my journey might be a little bit slower. We pull the facts out of the situation, and you have a job that pays good money, and it requires 40 hours a week. You're in a program that's showing you how to get freelance work, okay? And you're starting to get some opportunities there, like actual job offerings, or not yet? What's the fact?
I got a BA role. Yeah, I got something. I got two things out of it. One paid, one unpaid.
Okay. So the paid one was the BA one. The other one was working at the Film Commission. So the BA one, what day was that for?
Saturday.
Okay. So did you take it? Has it happened?
I did. Yeah.
You did take it.
This Saturday.
Oh, it's coming up. Okay, great. So that one fits into your schedule easily then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So no problem there. And then the other commission one is What do they want? What's their offer to you?
Weekend. It's a party for the TIFF goers, like Toronto International Film Festival goers.
Mhm.
So it's on a Sunday. So that fits in as
That
well.
fits in too. Okay. That
Yeah.
sounds like fun. You're going to meet people. Okay, so I'm not sure I see the problem.
The problem is, I think, for my backstage, not backstage, but my background work stuff, I'm really, they told me like you're really limited to like weekends. And a lot of this work happens during weekdays. Like people shoot during weekdays, right?
Mhm.
Um, I got submitted for like a commercial, and that's during weekdays as well, like 4 days. So if they accept me, then I'm just thinking like if I do get accepted for these things that I'm being submitted for, then I definitely have to quit my job because I can't be like, oh, I need 4 days off and then I need 5 days off. Do you know what I mean? It's not gonna
So we're worrying
work.
about making it all work in the future. Like you're trying to be
Yeah.
responsible and make sure that it all works. So you're thinking this might go slower for me because I have this job. I would say that everybody has to work though. Now, I've said this to you before, but everybody does have to work. Everybody transitions into the film industry and they all have to negotiate this. I mean, I did, everybody else does too. So the work that you have, the job that you have is a a benefit to you. It's part of your success story. It doesn't take it away. It doesn't mean that you're even going slower than anybody else. It just means that your journey is involves you working, making great money, fitting in these jobs that come in, and you pursuing the jobs like a mofo. You turn down half of them, you take the ones that you can, and who knows if it goes slow? It might go very fast. When we think that my journey is going to be slow, that's a thought that really, can you see how that's going to that creates a result of you think that it's going slow. So then you see that as that's how you perceive the world. You perceive all your whole experience of it is like, this might go slow for me. So when you think this might
Yeah.
go slower for me than other people, or this might just go slow for me, when you think that thought, what feeling comes up in your body?
Well, there's certainly fear. I feel like the work will come, but I'm gonna have to quit this job and be more available for that because there's only so much I can do with 2 days a week, and even film people take those 2 weeks off most likely in a week, and they like working during the weekdays, right?
Let's look at though
So
what your thought
it's
is producing in your life, because you keep wanting to look at this logically, which you're a logical person, and all of your your whole career has been based on your logical thinking. So I get it. In this place though, the logical thinking is going to keep you going slow because you're viewing your transition into the industry as a problem, like it's going slow. Like you're putting a lot of thoughts and energy into how's this all going to work out instead of, oh my God, I'm getting into the film
yeah.
industry. I'm creating the most amazing career ever right now. This is so amazing. I mean, you could definitely live there if you wanted to practice those thoughts. And then you would create it so fast, and you'd be like, before you knew it, you'd be in the industry, and you'd be like, I don't know what I was so worried about my job. I mean, this all just worked out amazingly. Of course it did. Let's finish the model of what result it produces when you think this might go slow for me, makes you feel fear.
Mhm.
And then from fear, how does that show up in your life in relation to getting into the business and doing what you need to do to get into the business?
I'm already saying no in my head to opportunities that might come up because of the timing issue. So
Yeah,
I'm
very.
like in a place of no rather than yes.
What an amazing realization. That is really good. Congratulations on having that insight. That's amazing. So you're already saying no, coming from the fear. It's coming from fear. This might go slow for me. I feel fear. I evaluate everything, and I usually come up with a no on it. You also might be how else might you be showing up with that fear being how you're approaching your business?
I would be reaching out less. I'd just be doing less, I think, because I've already decided in my head that I'm gonna have to come up with a different model of like work life to make this work. So, I've already slowed down in my head. I'm just like, I'm gonna not look for as many BA jobs, or I'm not gonna
You
do
slow
as
yourself
much.
down.
Like,
Yeah, you take less
yeah,
action, find less opportunities because you're taking less action. You're evaluating whether the opportunities are worth it or not. Is this going to get me there or
exactly.
not? Yeah. What you're creating the whole thing, what's actually happening here is you're creating everything with your thinking. Everything is being created with your thinking. If you believe that and you see that, then you can see that when you're feeling fear around your career because of the thought, this might go slow for me, then you're evaluating opportunities, you're evaluating conversations with people, you're seeing whether they're worth it or not, and trying to figure out how it's all going to work when you can't see the future and you never can. And it doesn't matter how it's all going to work. You're creating it. It doesn't matter how it's going to work. You'll know how it worked once you're there. So thinking this might go slow for me causes you to feel fear, makes you say no to things, makes you take less action, makes you judge yourself, whether, am I going to be good enough for this? Or is this going to get me where I want to be? Makes you judge people, judge situations, makes you procrastinate. And the result is that you make yourself go slow.
Hmm.
Can you see how you're creating that experience for yourself?
Yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna put in my 100% in I'm in the magic list part of it right now, the program, like where we have to make magic lists. So I'll keep going through the motions. Like I just feel like I'm gonna have to say, like my fear isn't that opportunities may not come. My fear is that I'm gonna have to say no to like most of the things.
Why is that a problem?
I need to keep my job. Well, then I'm kind of missing out on stuff, right? Like I'm not building my resume as quickly as I could.
Maybe, maybe not. You have so many opportunities coming up all the time. You say no to half of them. You have a hell of a resume. You meet a lot of people. You could be,
Yeah.
you're not going slow. I mean, I think that you don't enjoy another result of thinking that I got to figure all this out before I do it to make sure that it works, makes you not enjoy the process. You just worry about the process. You worry about whether you're there, you create a lot of doubt in your mind whether or not you're going to have this career or not. Do you think that's true?
I don't even have time to like ponder about if if everything will come to fruition. I'm just more like, these people reached out to me for something on Friday. Can I make it? No, I can't. Like the commercial that I've been submitted for is from like Wednesday to Friday. Can I make it? If I might have to, do you know, like that's a good opportunities. I might just have to squeeze it in somehow. It's a lot to juggle for me at least, like with a full-time job. Plus I'm writing a book too. So it all kind of, do you know
It,
what I mean? Like it's a
yeah,
lot.
it's a lot. And welcome to a freelance career. Welcome to doing something that is amazing in the world. Welcome to
Mhm.
any go-getter that's used to making 75 grand a year. It's a lot. I mean, my life, it's a lot. When you think that, then how does that make you feel in your body? This is a lot to juggle. What's the feeling that thought produces in your body?
I mean, I just want to freeze up sometimes, but
Yeah.
like I've decided that I need to prioritize things and plus I need my rest, right? Like I'm the kind of person who really needs to self-care and stuff like that. So I need my time for rest. That's a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
So I need to like prioritize these things. So it's like job, writing goes last because it doesn't matter, job, the program, and then, everything else.
this is
Thanks
a
God
lot.
I don't have kids and stuff. Like I'd be
Yeah.
so overwhelmed.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
people here that are in this program that do have kids that have a full-time job and that are writers and that are actors and that are the same exact
that's
position as you.
amazing.
A ton, a ton. And I've had many single moms that have been in this program and single dads that have been in this program. So when you think that it's
Yeah,
a lot to juggle, we just think that we're observing our life. Yeah, it is a lot to juggle. And your mom and your dad and everybody would say, yeah, you're juggling a lot. Are you getting enough sleep? And you're like, oh, actually, I'm not. Okay. Yeah. And I don't even know how, I don't know how all this is going to work. I don't know. This is a lot to juggle. And then you feel overwhelmed. Overwhelmed, then you judge yourself, you judge what's possible. You, that feeling of overwhelm, does that sound like a great way to create a career?
no, there's gotta be a different way, I guess, but
So how can you create a different
I
way?
haven't juggled all this in a while. Like I've just been coasting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You haven't
I
thought
just
about it
felt
like
a
this.
calling, so I'm here.
It's great. It's
Um,
great. And this is what change is. This is what it is. It's like not it's like we just get insights into our brain and all of a sudden we go like, "Oh my God, there's actually another way to think about this that gets me there so much faster without all this suffering that I'm creating in my own mind, that I'm making it so hard, I'm making myself go slow. There's another way." I mean, I thought this was the facts, but it's all generated
yeah,
by our thinking. There's just so much to juggle, makes us feel overwhelmed, which makes us procrastinate, tell ourselves that we need to rest more, worry about whether everything's going to work out right, judge ourselves, judge the industry, see it not happening, say no to stuff. And the result is of you create all this unnecessary juggling in your mind.
you're so right. There has to be more joy and exhilaration in this rather than worrying about juggling it all. And I guess like I want to do like a good job at it. I am successful in my current role and I want that. Obviously that's my mindset, right? Like I want to carry that forward in everything else I do. So I think like there's this performance thing, like I have to do really well, kind of an attitude that I take with me. So
Yeah.
maybe that creates a level of less joy and exhilaration as well, rather than going with the flow. That was like a really good insight for me that I'm just juggling too much, like, or thinking too much about it. Probably just go with the flow and take what I can, leave what I cannot take. And that's pretty much it. Simple, right? It's not.
Yeah. That I'm juggling so much is simply a thought in your brain that got stuck there. And it's producing
Yeah.
a result of you feeling overwhelmed. And then you say no to things. You see yourself not being successful. You don't create joy. You don't create the person that you need to become successful in this business. The
Yep.
result is that you juggle yourself to death. You're juggling this. There's so much to juggle, creates the result of you juggle yourself out of a career. So now let's choose another thought that gives you the result you want. The result you want is to work 100% in the film industry as a writer and an actor. So what's a thought that would produce that result?
I think for me, it's going to be quality over quantity. I can do it all. And I can write and I can do this as well. There's enough time in the day. Just keep doing it, keep going. And if there's something I can't do, like I can't do, it's not like I'm in school with you. There's no deadline for this stuff. Like just keep going. That's it.
Yeah. Something like, I'm amazing and everything I do works. Now act
Yeah.
it. Act it. You're an actor. Act that and believe it in your body.
I am amazing and everything I do works.
That was good. That was good. That was good. I believe it. Do you believe it?
Yeah, I think I do. Like I don't have a lot of insecurities for that, but I think my process orientation kind of needs to take a back seat and just relax a little bit,
Hmm.
maybe.
It's really all that it is. It's just practicing that thought because when I asked you, do you believe it? You looked to your past and you looked to the events of your past to see whether you should believe that or not, whether it's true. But
Hmm.
how beliefs work is you just think this thought so many times that you just believe it. You don't question it. You don't need to look at your past. It doesn't matter. You're amazing and everything that you do works. You don't have to look at your
Cool.
past for evidence.
Okay, I won't take up more of your time, but I just wanted to mention while I was doing the magic list, it was such a nice process. Like I could picture myself being like a director and be like, oh, I like this studio in Toronto and I want, this for that. Like I just started planning stuff in my head in terms of what I'd do, like if I were a director or a production coordinator or something like that. So that was like a really immersive experience for me. I really liked it.
Yeah, because you're amazing and everything that you do works. You look at the magic list and you're like, I'm amazing. I'm a director. This is my direction. Everything that I do works. And this, by
Got it.
researching the magic list, did you get this production, the production directory opportunity from that? Where did that opportunity come from where you're volunteering on Sunday?
I was just looking for CFC. Like I was looking for film information in Toronto, and then I saw CFC, like Canadian Film Commission, and they have like a
Mhm.
lot of stuff. Like the good thing about Toronto is it's really organized. Do you know what I mean? Like there are websites that really outline what's out there and stuff like that, and the tax incentives and all that good stuff, why people should film in Canada.
Yeah, that's,
So
that's their job.
yeah, I noticed they had a volunteer opportunity and I applied for it. So
Very good. Very good. You applied for it and you got it.
yeah,
Everything you do works. So just practice that thought. And you don't have to practice it by looking for evidence in the past. That's what your brain is always wanting to do. It's always want to line it up from the past. But what I'm asking you to do, what's going to make you super successful, you and everybody else here, is to practice it just as a thought that you believe. And it creates your future going forward. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. You're by practicing this thought and then believing it, you can go into any situation knowing this. And it doesn't matter. You're not, if you turn down 50 jobs and you just get one, I'm amazing and everything I do works. Things come out of that job because of your belief. You walk into the audition, I'm amazing and everything I do works. Maybe you don't get it, maybe you do get it. But one thing's for sure, you go in there with that energy, people are like, she's amazing. Self-confidence is thinking that you've practiced so many times that you believe it. You're creating it with no evidence. Self-confidence, you gave it to yourself. You give it to yourself. You create it from yourself. And you're going to create, everybody here is going to create their career through self-confidence. Thank you so much that you didn't take too much of our time because it was so helpful to everybody here.
awesome. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Thanks so much for listening. And if you want to take your career to the next level in the film industry, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. That's friendsinfilm.com/join. You can sign up for our mini course, learn about the A-list model, and then you can take it all the way and do the A-list program. So that's friendsinfilm.com/join. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, everybody.